Okay, so we have a 1750 battle report for you today. I have a full-on mechanized Eldar army for you. Dire Avengers in wave serpents, fire dragons in a wave serpent, two fire prisms, two squadrons, small squadrons of Vypers. My Farseer warlord is on here in Jetbike with a small squad of Jetbike guardians, and I'm facing Space Marines, Land Raider with some kind of Terminators in there, and some kind of Librarian. Squad of five guys with Pedro inside that Rhino. Looks like a Predator over there. A awesomely converted Storm Talon ready to come on from reserve. Squad of dudes inside that thing, and I think we forgot to actually infiltrate some guys, right?
Oh, they're right here now.
So, oh yeah, they are infiltrated. Okay, beautiful. So some guys infiltrated there. There's one objective there. One objective, dead Space Marine, or like wounded Space Marine over here. Another objective over here, another wounded Space Marine there. And Warlord traits, my opponent rolled for, in his deployment zone, him and his unit have counterattack. I rolled on the strategic tree, or whichever tree that was called, and I got the my entire army within 12 inches of my Warlord moves through cover. So he can move through a lot of this cover. Pretty interesting. Never rolled that one before. And my opponent rolled for a couple of powers. I think he took a telekinesis power and some other power. I am sticking with just Fortune and Doom. So that is it. We're going to try it out. I'm going to try to steal initiative. Otherwise, my opponent's going to go first. Can I steal initiative on a 6? It's a 3. And just a quick note, we did roll for night fighting. There will be night fighting on turn 1. Pretty interesting. So back in a bit. Okay, rounding up top of turn 1 for Space Marines. So the two powers he has are Enfeeble and Telekine Dome, just because I didn't mention those before. So what happened? This thing moved up 6 inches, fired 2 of its guns, not having to snap fire because the 2 other ones were out of range, but managed to get, even with this, with the twin linked over there, managed to get one missile one Bright Lance, las cannon. Let me just try saying that. Las cannon over here managed to glance his vehicle over here. Failed my shrouded save, and I actually had, against one of them I had a save, against one of them I didn't. Over here, this guy moved up, blasted into here, managed to kill one of my bikers despite, me still having my saves, and then this thing moved up cruising speed, so it had to it snap fired all of its guns and actually managed to hit with a bunch of them and blew away another one of my bikers. So that sucks. Before we even started. And actually, we forgot to make a leadership check here because they lost a quarter of their unit. Leadership 10, and that is a 1 and a 4, so we made it there. Okay. And over here, a missile launcher from that scout squad blasted in here, but luckily because it's night fighting, I was shrouded, so it penetrated me, but I actually made my 5+ cover save from shrouded there. And that is it. So on to bottom of turn 1 for Eldar. Okay, rounding up bottom of turn 1 for Eldar. Fortune, the squad over here, wasn't in range to really doom anything, so I had held on to the doom. What happened? I moved this vehicle. It's got 5 fire dragons out to here. This guy's got 10 Dire Avengers. These guys with the 1 hull point down, 10 Dire Avengers moved over here. 5 fire dragons inside here. What happened over here? Shot into here with a bunch of stuff. These Vypers just made quick work of that transport. Even with the cover save from being stealth, we managed to crack it open. The guys didn't get pinned though. And then a combination of shooting from this vehicle, that vehicle, managed to kill 2, I think, guys from that unit, but they made their leadership at the end of the round. This guy here actually helped out blasting into there, but grand total was only 2 guys dead from all that shooting. Vypers over here, fired into here, got a bunch of hits, and then rolled no 5s or 6s to do anything to him. This guy over here helpfully shot in there, but actually couldn't do much either. Combination shooting from this vehicle onto that guy over there. Only 1 gun was in 24-inch range. I miscalculated that a little bit. But over here, managed to get a connection from this guy. He moved from this area, moved into here, blasted into that guy, got a penetration through, and made it so he's stunned. So he can only snap fire next round, can't move. And that was pretty much it. We shimmied about 4 inches over here. We ended up over here and then shimmied a little bit closer. We're going to see if your reserves come on the board. See what happens. What do you want to roll for first?
Okay.
Outflankers?
Yeah. These guys?
So scouts outflanking the vehicle. Yeah, they're on. And
come on, big money.
The flyer is on as well. The Storm Talon is on the field. Here we go. So we're going to come back in a second. Okay, rounding up top of turn 2 for Space Marines. This thing flew out over here, blasted everything it could, stripped 2 hull points, 2 glances into that guy. And then this thing over here managed to fire 1 heavy bolter up to here, but couldn't get, managed to actually hit with snap firing, but couldn't hurt my armor. Actually, no, I did make 1 5+ jinx save. Multi-Melta and both of those last cannons, one of which was snap firing, fired it here, managed to put 2 more glances into me, and I failed one of those 2 jinx saves, and so I was just wrecked. So these guys popped out. Luckily, they were not pinned. 3 inches movement when you disembark from a wreck there. And what else happened over here? These guys moved up, tried to put some shooting into here, but couldn't do it. That guy had to snap fire those guns because he was stunned. Couldn't do anything to me over here. Managed to connect with one. Actually did roll a 6, but I only rolled a 1 to penetrate armor. Over here, some lucky shooting. They blew away one of my bikers. Sorry, it was this guy that flew on actually from reserves. Came on over here and flamered me. So killed one lucky guy there. And I think that was pretty much it for what happened this turn. So we got to really respond. We got to respond to the flyer. We have to respond to the land raider, and we got to respond to all this stuff over here. So we'll see what I can do. Back in. Okay, rounding up bottom of turn 2 for Eldar. What happened? Fortune on the squad. Doomed those guys, but actually ended up not firing anything at the scouts that are inside that building. I just couldn't do stuff. But these guys, because you're not allowed to assault, even if you were wrecked out of a vehicle, they actually, instead of going this way, they went this way. They got 1-6 to hit the flyer, penetrated him, he failed his evade, and he crashed into this building over here. So stroke of luck for those guys. Craziness, this thing just careened into this building and slammed there, so we've actually left the corpse of that flyer there. The rest of the shooting then, Vypers, this thing, blasted in here, but I think I only killed 1 Terminator total out of all that shooting. Because these guys were able to blow open the Land Raider. Of course, as you've expected and always, one of my Fire Dragons died from the explosion of the Land Raider. Pretty awesome over there. This Falcon decided to fly into the back line there and gun down that last remaining unit of 3 guys. One of them died from the explosion of the Land Raider. Sorry. One of them died from the drift of this weapon. That clipped a couple Terminators, blew that guy away. And this guy managed to gun down the last 2. Over here, these guys threw spears. So my Farseer and the Warlock threw spears at this guy and actually wrecked him right away. I was going to charge him if I didn't, but so be it. We wrecked him right away. And then they used their Jetbike move to go behind there. These guys moved up with the help of these guys, fired everything in this vehicle, but just took off 1 hull point. Couldn't do anything else to him. This guy was left with nothing else to shoot at, really. So he ended up just trying to fire at this thing, but it drifted actually in the middle of this field over there. So be it. That was it. So it is on to top of turn 3 for Space Marines. Okay, rounding up the middle of top of turn 3. Exciting combat starting over here. What happened first, these guys popped out of the vehicle. This thing moved on over here. Fired the gun into here. Couldn't get any glances, though. These guys blasted all their weapons, killed 1 biker, but nobody else. So after that happened, my opponent decided that these guys that they had popped out of their assault vehicle, their open-top transport, decided instead of shooting at this vehicle here, they're going to cause trouble. They went in over here. We overwatched them, but we couldn't actually kill anybody. We got 1 wound through on the overwatch, but he made his armor save. And we're going to be fighting combat over here. These guys, these Terminators split up from their librarian. They're charging my Falcon. They're just going to turn that into paste. This guy over here charged into here. I couldn't get any Overwatch hits, unfortunately. Oh man, that would have been pretty sweet to insta-kill that guy, but so be it, eh? So they're going to get pulverized by that Warlord over here, the Librarian. And the other shooting missile from that squad tried to strip a hull point, maybe hurt me over here, but couldn't get through the armor. And that was it for shooting. There's nothing else left on shooting for my pony. He's got like amazing melee though, so I'm going to be in real trouble now this turn. So back in a bit. Okay, rounding up that combat, what happened? Total gong show. My Warlock declared a challenge. Some crappy little sergeant there took it, but no wounds caused by either side. We both suck. And all other attacks everywhere else caused no wounds. My fortune held out. We didn't hit too well against these guys. Total gong show. Over here, by some miracle, we attacked first. Didn't get any. Actually, no, we did. Yeah, we got no wounds on him. Didn't matter. He only killed 1 guy, unfortunately. And unfortunately, I passed my leadership, so I couldn't run away, which means I can't shoot him with all this stuff to gun him down like a dog on my turn. Look at this. There's no way he would survive all this, but I just got screwed here. But so be it. These guys are too brave. Why are you so brave, you crazy fire dragons? So be it. These guys over here, of course, pulverized that vehicle, just exploded. Explosion, wounded a Terminator, but made a save. Explosion killed one of these guys, but didn't wound my 2 dudes. There's a 5-inch explosion from there. Just pulverized. All those hammers just did the job on that vehicle. No problems there. And it is going to be on to bottom of turn 3 for Eldar. Coming right up. Yeah. Okay, so rounding up bottom of turn 3, what happened? We flew down here, unloaded these guys. Those guys flew up over there. And this guy flew up a little bit to get a better line of sight. Vypers, this guy, those guys, they did not Bladestorm. I'm saving Bladestorm in case this guy was going to win combat and assault me so I could Bladestorm on the Overwatch. But we fired everything we could into the Terminators. One Terminator left after that hail of firing, so this guy decided to try to gun him down, and we successfully gunned down the last Terminator there. Shooting over here, my squadron of 2 guys, keeping the 4-inch formation, they moved in there, blew up that guy, just wrecked him over there with shooting from all their guns there. These guys Bladestormed into the unit of Stern Guard, which was successfully doomed. And we managed to gun them down with a single Bladestorm. Just a lot of stuff hitting there. Gong Show combat over here. This guy finally won the challenge, killed the sergeant, consolidated in. No other wounds caused anywhere else, so they lost by 1, but they stuck it out. This guy over here, again, we couldn't wound him. He only killed 1 guy. We made our leadership. We stuck it out again. And that was it. I think we're going to call it here, though. My opponent decided to concede just because he's running out of resources. Even if this clears up, I'm probably just going to storm him with a lot of stuff. So, you know, pretty interesting game. It definitely, that middle turn really helped me out. But thanks for the game again.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pretty interesting combat. Look at all this carnage all over the board. Vehicles and stuff destroyed.
He has so many strength 6 guns.
Yeah, Eldar, Mech Eldar can put out a lot of strength 6. We can definitely cleave infantry off the board.
Have to have war flyers, land speeders, and slot of 6.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty lucky. Admittedly, my 1 shot, the 1 Melta connected, is immune to the extra dice from Melta, so I had to roll a straight up, single dice to penetrate. Got the penetration, failed the evade, and that was it. So that was lucky that I managed to get it. So be it, right?
Strength 6 shots you would have had, you still would have shot him down.
I think I could have gotten him maybe because I have twin link shots here on this turret, twin link shots on that vehicle's turret. A lot of shots on those guys. So maybe I could have done it. But good game anyways. Thank you.
Need more guns.